Greetings, greetings, and happy Monday to everyone and everything. We are the Dawn of Ascension show, and with my Ascension Soul team, and we're here to share our tools, our views, and our journey through these crazy and wonky vibrations and energies we all are living in right now. And we all know they're really crazy and wonky. Just look. My name is Arlene, and I'm here with Aubrey, Susie, and Gina. And today we would like to talk about self-care of the nervous system, because that's one of the most important things we need to care for and protect is our nervous system. And one of the things that the reason why we're bringing this up too is because we ourselves have gone through a lot of shattering and reconstruction and moving forward because of our nervous systems. And we do really intend and like to post on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, but occasionally we also are working on our ascension and the ascension of humanity. And we get caught up in these crazy energies, and we have to do a lot of self-care and a lot of work on ourselves in order for us to balance out and be able to move forward for ourselves and humanity. So we're coming to a real crucial time, and we just had a big change from the Mayan calendar from yesterday. And so we would just like to bring this up a little bit about how important it is to self-care for our nervous system. And Aubrey has some wonderful comments to open this subject with. Okay, Aubrey.
Well, I wanted to kind of start by talking about, the subject that we talked about in our last video was listening to that kind of still small voice in your heart. And that is really deeply related to what we're talking about today, because our body's ability to kind of regulate how calm and centered we are is directly related to our central nervous system, and it's also directly related to how in our heart we can be. And so it's a really good indicator if you're feeling frantic and like there's some like in a rush, like you're like something needs to be done right now. That's a really good indicator that your central nervous system isn't being regulated. If you are on the opposite end and feeling a really deep lack of motivation, or just general apathy towards existence, that's another indicator that your central nervous system is compromised. So it's really important during this ascension process to remember that our physical bodies are energy bodies, and a lot of what we're doing in this ascension process is getting our energetic bodies and our physical bodies and our mind, heart, soul, all of those things kind of aligned into one place. And there are physical things you can do for your body to help regulate your nervous system, in order to get aligned into your energy body. So we're going to kind of go through some suggestions on what to do. I'm going to bring up a couple, and then we're going to kind of pass it around and give some more suggestions. But one of the things that you can do to regulate your nervous system is somatic release. And so that means rocking, or if you have a vibration plate or something like that, like just rocking your body is going to just kind of slowly move some energy out of your body and kind of help your nervous system get into a more regulated state. Bilateral tapping is a really good way to do that. That will cross the wires in your brain so that they're talking to each other better, and will kind of get your entire body more like, oh, you're over there. That's right. You exist. Okay. So do you. And stuff like that. There's like anything rhythmic, like dancing is going to be really good. Taking baths, going for walks, and also having a really good orgasm is really, really good for your central nervous system.
Whoa! Okay. Well, lots of good things there. Um, Epsom salts in the body, all the different salts, potassium, magnesium. I know I'm forgetting more of them. Um, and hydration. Gina, I know you have some thoughts about salts and hydration. What would you like to share?
Well, we've been very programmed by Western medicine on how bad for you salt is. It's not true. Our bodies need salt. We are 97% of the solid part of us is seawater. So we need that salt in order to keep the our whole electrical system going. So it's really important, especially now it's summer in the Western Hemisphere. We're outdoors doing stuff more. I know yesterday I did 4.5 hours of weeding and gardening, and it was in the 90s to 100 here in northern Arizona where I am. I had to put some Himalayan salt under my tongue on top of adding salt to my water with limes and lemons in it. A sprig of mint just made it wonderful. But salt is really important. And truly, after about 3 hours of being outside, I had to come in and put some salt in my mouth and also drink water because I was starting to feel dizzy. So another symptom of needing salt and water is maybe a lot of times, really, if your legs start swelling up, you probably are losing water into your tissues because you don't have the salt in your circulatory, in your blood system to hold the water in there. So having some extra salt. And
Oh,
Arlene, you had a good story when we were in the back room before coming on air about your father. Do you want to share that?
yes, I would because, you know, I'm 71, so I was born in the early 50s and things were a lot different back then. Um, but my father was a lineman. He worked outside in the heat at 55 years, a lineman. And he worked for PG&E most of the time. And they would supply them with salt tabs. You get, oh, usually two in a little packet like this. And they instructed them to take those salt tabs and back in the 50s, the 40s and 50s, they were taught what heat stroke was, when you needed to address yourself, and also encourage the salt tabs. That man never got heat stroke. He never got sick. I mean, 55 years outside work, you know, that's a long time. And also, too, I'd like to add that the salt that we have to, you've got to get the good Himalayan salt, the Celt salt, the good salts, because that pour as you go table salt is not the type of salt that we need in our system at all. That's not the type of salt we're talking about at all. And even in those good little salt tabs, those were not even the same kind of salt. So even the birds know to get salt. Everything knows to get salt. All the animals, the horses, you always had to keep salt blocks around for them. Everything knows they have to get their salt. So people need to remember and to tune in to get salt. Does anyone want to say something else?
Another thing that's very lacking that goes along with salt now is because we, for the most part, don't use that salt with the little girl in the umbrella and the iodine added. 99% of us are iodine deficient. And you really should be taking a good Lugol's iodine solution um, pretty much daily. I just watched, oh, who's that woman that's around on TikTok and stuff? Barbara or
Dr. Barbara. Yeah.
yeah, and she was showing that if you get some from the pharmacy, just some providone iodine or betadine, it's called. I'm also a retired nurse. For anyone who doesn't know me, anyway, if you rub a patch of the providone iodine or the betadine on your skin and wait 2 hours, if it soaks in, you're iodine deficient. If it stays on your arm, you're not, you have enough iodine in. I just saw that go by and I was like, that's fascinating. I'll have to try that.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I never did. Yeah, okay. Well, I just learned something myself. I need to be looking at that. Hmm. Aubrey, I know you have something to add to that too.
Yeah, I just wanted to like for everyone who's listening to this and like, I mean, this is a lot. There's a lot of different things you can do to give yourself self-care, and it's important to remember that going back to basics is the most important thing. So eating more salt is great, but drinking enough water is probably something you're not doing. It's really hard to drink enough water to really truly be hydrated, especially during an ascension process. So drink more water. Make sure that you are trying to err on the side of too much sleep rather than not enough sleep. Instead of making sure that you like get enough hours to get by, what happens if you give yourself more hours than you need in order to sleep and truly rest? Like it's really it's these little simple practices and just self-care basics that are going to make a really big difference for you. And it like especially if you have been self-sabotaging and not doing those practices, try zooming out and not attaching emotions to why you're not doing those things for yourself. Like what happens if you go to bed at 8 instead of 9? What happens? It's an experiment.
Thank you for that. And sometimes I go to bed at 7:30, but I'm retired. I can do whatever I want. So, sleep, self-care, extra sleep, lots of water. Um, Personally, I just have my coffee and then I just drink water all the rest of the day. I mean, um, that's it. I don't do Cokes, I don't do fruit juices, water in my morning coffee. And so we're talking about sleep, hydration, and salts for our body. Are those our are those the stool we want to stand on that this morning?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, let's not forget about grounding and dreaming.
Oh,
Those
Yeah.
are two other very good things. While you're getting that extra hour sleep, you don't actually sleep, spend the time. What do you want your world to look like? And ask your higher self and your angels to help guide you towards that path. Go in
Mhm.
on the drone level and look down and see your life and how where can it go from here that's positive.
good idea. That just finished that whole process, the whole
Absolutely.
thing. That was excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you. Okay, so I know Susie has a card, and everybody's message just blends so wonderfully today. What you got, Susie?
Well, I'm really excited because the self-care message really goes along well with our fairy message today. And our fairy message is stability, earth spirit. And when I'm looking at this card, when I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling hopefulness, I'm seeing the trees, I am in nature, there's life. It looks like they're lanterns, but to me they look like little orbs, and it reminds me a lot of me. This could very well be me right here sitting here. And I have a lot of earth fairies that are always around me. So I really resonate with this card, and I just absolutely loved it when I pulled it. Over the moon. Um, but this card is about stabilizing and balancing your energy flow as well. And like Gina was saying, it's all about grounding. And I'm just remembering a few weeks ago when Gina mentioned going for a walk blindfolded. We're just trying to be creative about embracing our outdoor nature experience. And I know everyone's had a couple of weeks to really practice that and have a little fun with that. But I thought, why not add to that? Why not maybe go outside and maybe try walking in your bare feet, right? You can do it on some stones, on the earth. You can do it on the sand and just feel the sand, between your toes. How amazing does that feel? And while you're there, put your hands in there. You can make a mud puddle. You can build a sand castle. It's just limitless of what you can do and how you can engage with nature and with grounding and with those energies that you're bringing in. Another thing came to mind is when we're going for that walk and we see these branches that are sticking out. What is our normal tendency, right? We tend to go around, we tend to go a step over, we tend to go under, we tend to avoid nature. So my challenge for you is to go right through nature. Look at it and just pause, listen to the heartbeat, ground your energy, and just let it fill every part of you. There's another thing too. I mean, if you're very outdoorsy, you can climb a tree. That's actually a thing. There are a lot of people that love to climb trees, and there's a lot of trees that just love it. If you would pay them that attention and just climb and just imagine that energy that you are sharing together, it's just so beautiful. And of course, I remember as well, Aubrey did this beautiful meditation a little while ago in our grounding video. And I encourage you to go back and rewatch that because she is teaching you how you can bring in your higher self energy with the Mother Earth energy and letting that beautiful energy just mix in your heart center. And I do that in my meditations every day, and it just feels wonderful. So I encourage you to do that as well. Now, I have a question for Aubrey, and this is actually unrelated a little bit, but I've been thinking about asking it for a while, and I thought I'm just going to go for it. This is about biting insects. I, I when I'm out, hugging my tree and doing my meditation, I'm always, sending out this intention to just blast those insects out of my field because they keep biting me and it's not working. They keep coming in, and especially the mosquitoes right now. And they have so much of my blood, especially the female mosquitoes. So I must have lots of offspring right now floating around with with all of the bites I've had. So I'm just wondering, Aubrey, what are your thoughts on biting insects just now?
Well, some biting insects out there are biting in order to get information from you. But if you are finding, especially if you've been bit a lot before and are nervous about it, we know from energy that anything that you feed is going to come back at you more. And so if you have some insect PTSD, that's a really good way to invite more insects. So rather than protecting and trying to blast things out of their field, what you need to do is shift your frequency into either something that they don't feel like they need to protect from, because if you're trying to protect from them, then they're going to try to protect from you also. Or to be something that they don't even see, if you're just kind of vibrating where that's not in your reality. Like I would never get bit by mosquitoes, and I actually have a contract in my Akashic records to not be bit by, by insects. And I just don't want to do that. I feel like I've learned what I've learned from that, and I went into my records and made that contract. So that's another thing that you can do.
Yes.
If you're having a hard time,
Yeah,
from them, then there must be, then that means that there's a lesson to be learned.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Oh, thank you so much for that, Aubrey. That's great. I will definitely make that contract right now. Wow.
You got to first, and then you can make the contract.
Okay, okay, got it.
Oh, I'm one of
Yeah.
those, I rarely get bit. I just rarely get bit at all.
Mhm.
But my husband, oh, he's got such sweet blood for them. Poor guy. It's a
Mhm.
flea, if it's a mosquito, he's got it.
Wow.
Okay, well, I hope everyone um, found some tools that they could pick up on for further hydrating, sleeping a little bit more, getting grounded more, and being a little kinder to our nervous system. But I do hear one more message coming in. Beep, 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 beep. Incoming, Aubrey.
Today's message is from the flower of life. The flower of life is the sacred symbol of our interconnectedness. It's the original sacred geometry. It's the very first fractal, the very first pattern in the universe. And it is ever evolving and ever shifting because there is no such thing as a perfect circle. The flower of life is made up of circles, and the radius of a circle is pi, which is a number that never ends. So the circles in the flower of life are actually spirals. And so when you meditate in with the flower of life, you gain access to the sacred spiral that connects us all. And the flower of life would like everyone to know it's time to surrender to the sacredness and the spiral of evolution. We are evolving right now, and humans have never actually been in this point of ascension before. This is the very first time we're doing this. And it's really exciting to be doing it at this time. It's really exciting to be a human right now. And because it's never been done before, we're all figuring it out as we go. And so surrendering to the flow and allowing for the things that you don't know, are like allowing for the unknown to come into your life is it's a really good idea right now. So spend some time with the flower of life. She has a lot to say.
Oh, thank you. It's been such a wonderful, wonderful message today. And I just want to say, I feel like in my soul, I woke up always believing that we live in the most wonderful time right now, and that this is the most special time. And I am so happy that I get to be a part of it. And if anyone else out there feels the same as I, we're so happy to be a part of this whole wonderful experience that is brand new. Make a comment below. We would love to hear from any of you. And again, we are the Dawn of Ascension Morning Show, and we like to record on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So tune in to us, and everyone enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye.